What's up, guys? One of the biggest responses that girls say about Asians is, I don't date Asian guys. Now, obviously, not every girl says this, and one could argue not even the majority says this, but there's this sort of conception or misconception out there that a lot of females will say this regarding the Asian race, and that is the top race that they say it towards. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but the question therein lies whether or not it's true. It's near the top in terms of races. Like, you don't see people saying, I don't date white guys, or I don't date black guys. But if that is true, or if it is near the top, why is this the case? Now, first off, before I go off on talking about this, you guys who are about to cry, who are about to, slit your wrists or whatever about this, stop whining about this. It's not the end of the world. It's not the most horrendous thing that ever happened. Nor does it mean that you can't date outside your race or your chances of that are dead in the meat. That's a loser's mentality. Think like a winner. All it really means is that you've upped the difficulty level from easy to hard, and experts like a challenge, and you will like being an expert. So I hope that made sense. Regardless if it did or did not, let's move on to purpose of this discussion slash video, which is, why is this the case, and really, does it matter if it is? Well, the first question, why is this the case? I think it's a cultural thing, and obviously I'm talking European nations, especially United States. You see this often. My theory, obviously, there's no way to really scientifically prove this, and if you did, like, again, it's kind of pointless because culture is constantly changing. So in 100 years, things could be completely different. You never know. In fact, in 10 years, I mean, culture is changing dramatically at times. But I have a feeling that this may stick around for quite a while. So why is this the case? Well, my theory, obviously not proven, but based off lots of observation, is that it's a defense mechanism. Um, it's often just to test your resolve, test your security, test your self-esteem, and test a lot of things. And it's a very easy go-to. It's probably the biggest insecurity that a lot of Asian males will probably have deep down, and or at least that is how a lot of girls will perceive it. So they'll be like, let's test this guy. And I feel like girls throw out a lot of tests just initially with a lot of people, um, especially those who have low self-esteem, regardless of ethnicity. They just do this to just see, like, is this guy really worth my time? Um, and sure, like, you will get those girls who like guys with low self-esteem, but in most cases, and in a lot of prominent environments, like, I don't know, a social scene, probably not. And so that's the biggest go-to, and every ethnicity has their sort of test that they have to sort of get through. Like, it's a very healthy quality to um, show that you are very content with yourself. Short people, I mean, there are people who are 5 foot tall, males. I mean, think of the guy in Game of Thrones. I mean, these are people who struggle with their own form of physical disadvantage. They're playing life on a difficulty of hard as well, and they have to really show their security. Obese guys, fat guys as well, and they will get these tests in other ways. Now, obviously, with certain other things like obesity, it's gonna be easier because they won't test it as much. They won't be as difficult with it because there's cultural issues of going overboard with it. But again, it's just like, does it really matter? You just it's like playing life on a harder difficulty, and you can either whine about it or be a winner and be like, bring it, bring on the difficulty. And if you want it, you overcome that difficulty, you show that you're not phased. And oftentimes, um, I found it surprising. There's actually a few YouTube videos. There's this one with like 200,000 views where this girl does it to this Asian guy, and this Asian guy is just on top of his game. He's not phased at all, and I feel like he wins over the girl. But obviously, like, that's one of those things. It's like, if you want it badly enough, you have to bring it. And if you don't bring it, the girl's going to, walk all over you. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of guys crying, saying, why isn't life easier? Why can't I just walk up? Why do they have to be so difficult? You don't always have to. Like, not all the time, but I think it's ludicrous to think that you will walk through life completely without hitting someone who's rude like this. And oftentimes you can't always pass it up, or you can't just give up too easily. And I think it is sometimes a sort of test. It's a quick way of just testing the waters. Like, most guys, I feel, if a girl responds to something like, I don't date Asian guys, or I don't like Asian guys, first off, that's a very harsh response from just saying hi or hello to someone, and it can happen. But that in itself implies that she's already thinking about you in a certain way and stuff, and it's a real quick sort of test to see, like, are you worth my time, sort of thing. And I don't know, like, obviously it would be a lot, one would argue it would be a lot better if everything was a lot easier, and people weren't so difficult. But when you really get down to it, if everything was easy in life, would anything really be worth having? And those who say yes haven't really gotten anything, where over time they've just been so desensitized to it that it really isn't worth much anymore. I've gotten that with stuff like food. Like, it's only a treat when you rarely get it. Once you're allowed to get it every single day, it's just like, it's nothing anymore. It's the same thing with a lot of stuff. A lot of expensive stuff like TVs or video games. It's really the difficulty of getting the money to obtain them. And then once you're allowed to play them every day, it's like, it's not really worth it. So it's, food for thought, and I definitely think this can apply to any race and ethnicity. So share this with someone you think would find this useful. See you guys later.